So this is yet another tool. It's connected sheets, and you can see I have my data loaded. For saving you the detail, I create a project and I have billing code set up, and I loaded the data into BigQuery, and now I'm exporting or looking at it through Google Connected Sheets. But underlying this is actually SQL, right? SQL is actually underlying this, so when I run different summaries, it's actually leveraging SQL in the background. But one of the most useful features is I can actually see for various fields, I can see the stats, right? I can see the stats. So I'm going to go to, well, let's go with the deal amount, so we're being consistent. So if we go to the deal amount, I can see that I can actually generate what are called column stats, right? Column stats, and you can see I can see the total rows, unique values, empty values, so 544 null values, and then I can see the average, the median, and what's also helpful is I can see the distribution is basically our histogram, right? So that's our histogram. So that's fairly consistent, just a slightly different buckets, but that's fairly consistent with what we saw earlier when we looked at Tableau. And I can also do this for categorical, right? So I can see the industry. I could go to my column stats. Again, I see the total rows. Most frequent is food and beverage at 301 in terms of pitches, and then I can also see the count or the distribution. In this case, is the count of the number of records or number of pitches by industry. So let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper here. So one of the things that we notice is that we had some missing values, right? For the deal amount, you can actually use some filters, and I'm going to actually filter to those records that, you know, or actually, why don't we do this? We can actually do our column stats, and with this is a 0 and 1 field. So let's look at the column stats first, and I can see here that when I sum, it's 841. 841 total, right? 841 total. So in fact, there's 841. Well, look at the frequency. 841 that are ones, and 544 that are 0. So what I know now, and let's go ahead and filter, and let's say it's is equal to 0. And I hit apply there. And if I scroll there, I know there's 544 records, and you can see the total deal amount is missing, right? So now we actually have a reason or explanation as to why that total deal amount is null. And it actually makes a lot of sense that those that do not have a deal or do not get a deal, their deal amount would be missing, right? No deal amount. And you can see that there. I can keep scrolling and see that, right? So I actually have an explanation for those null values, which is now very clear to me. So there's a lot of other features that we're not going to dive into in detail. There are some limitations with using sheets or connected sheets for sort of BI work. But at least in the exploration phase, you can see some of the value that we were able to get out of this just using that column stats feature. But certainly you can create pivot tables, you can create charts, some of which will be very similar or look very similar to those in a typical BI software.